What if the most dangerous place to live isn't failure, but average? Not rock bottom, not disaster, but that quiet, comfortable middle where nothing feels wrong, yet nothing ever really changes. Most people believe being average is safe, responsible, sensible. But what if that belief is costing you years of your life, thousands of opportunities, and a future you'll never get back? Today, we're going to uncover the hidden cost of being average, where it came from, how it quietly took over modern life, why it eventually breaks people, and why almost every fix fails. And by the end, you'll see why average is not neutral. It's expensive. Setting the stage, how average became the goal. To understand this, we need to go back, not to ancient history, but to the systems that shaped modern life. After the Industrial Revolution, societies needed predictable workers. Factories didn't want extraordinary thinkers. They wanted reliability. Schools followed the same logic: standardized tests, fixed schedules, uniform grading. The goal wasn't excellence, the goal was consistency. Average became the benchmark, not too slow, not too curious, not too ambitious. Then came the 20th century financial system: stable jobs, fixed salaries, pensions, mortgages. The promise was simple: stay average, follow the rules, and life will reward you with security. And for a while, it worked. But hidden inside that promise was a trap, one that wouldn't reveal itself for decades. Origins, when average felt safe. In the early days, being average actually was a strategy. Costs were low, competition was local, careers lasted decades. If you earned close to the median income, you could still buy a home, raise a family, and retire with dignity. The system rewarded participation more than performance. Average wasn't dangerous, it was dependable. But systems change faster than habits, and people didn't notice the shift until it was already too late. The rise. When average became invisible. As globalization accelerated, technology scaled everything. One top performer could now outperform thousands. One company could dominate entire industries. One skill could command global demand. Suddenly, the gap between average and exceptional widened, fast. But here's the twist: life still felt the same. People still went to work, still got paid, still paid bills, still scrolled their phones at night. That's what made it dangerous. Average didn't collapse overnight, it eroded slowly. Raises stopped beating inflation. Job security became an illusion. Debt quietly replaced income growth, yet nothing screamed emergency. And that's exactly how people got stuck. The breaking point. When average stops working. The breaking point usually doesn't arrive as a crisis. It arrives as a realization. You wake up one day and notice you've been busy for years but haven't moved forward. Your income increased, but your freedom didn't. You followed the rules, yet the finish line keeps moving. This is where the hidden cost reveals itself. Being average doesn't fail loudly. It fails silently. Opportunities pass because you are not bad enough to quit, but not exceptional enough to be chosen. You're not fired, you're not promoted, you're tolerated, and tolerance is expensive. The fallout, the price people pay. The fallout isn't just financial, it's psychological. Average drains urgency, it dulls ambition, it replaces dreams with routines. People start saying things like, "This is just how life is. At least it's stable. I'll take risks later." But later rarely comes. And over time, average compounds. Average skills lead to replaceable work. Replaceable work leads to weak leverage. Weak leverage leads to limited choices. Not poverty, just limitation. And limitation is harder to escape because it doesn't feel like danger. Failed fixes. Why most people stay stuck. When people sense something is wrong, they try surface-level fixes. They chase motivation, they consume inspirational content, they work longer hours. But none of that addresses the root issue. The problem isn't effort, the problem is positioning. Average effort in average environments produces average outcomes, no matter how motivated you feel. Another failed fix? Waiting for permission. Permission from bosses, from society, from timing. But systems don't promote people out of average anymore. They extract value until something breaks. And by the time people realize this, they're already exhausted. In modern parallels, the pattern repeats. Look around today. Technology is accelerating faster than education systems. AI is replacing tasks faster than people are reskilling. The middle is shrinking. The data is brutal. The top performers capture disproportionate rewards. The bottom adapts out of necessity. The average gets squeezed. This isn't new. It's repeating history. Just like automation replaced factory workers, digital leverage is replacing average knowledge workers. And the cost of staying average is rising every year, not because you're failing, but because the system no longer rewards standing still. The reveal: why average is the most expensive choice. Here's the truth most people never hear. Being average doesn't protect you from risk, it only delays it. And the longer it's delayed, the harder it hits. Average costs you optionality, it costs you leverage, it costs you time, and time is the one asset you never get back. 3 practical takeaways: how to escape the average trap. 1. Stop optimizing for comfort, optimize for leverage. Ask, does this skill scale? Does this effort compound? If not, you're trading time for stability, and stability is fading. Become rare, not well-rounded. Average people try to be good at many things. Exceptional people become undeniable at one. Pick depth over balance. 3. Measure progress by freedom, not approval. Promotions, praise, and titles don't equal control. Track how many choices your life gives you, not how busy you are. Open-ended thought, the question that lingers. Here's the uncomfortable question. If nothing changes, if you stay exactly where you are, where does that path realistically lead in 10 years? Not the hopeful version, the probable one. And if that future feels heavy, maybe average is already costing you more than you think. If this video made you uncomfortable, that's not an accident. Awareness always comes before change. If you want more breakdowns like this, about money, systems, freedom, and the hidden forces shaping modern life, subscribe to the channel. Because the most dangerous cost isn't failure. It's waking up one day and realizing you played it safe, and still lost. And that's the real price of being average.